Hello, JB Illusion here, checking out the latest clan introduction, Lions and Sheep. Oh my. What do we have here? It does seem... Wait, we're in a high-rise? Venture.
The misconception among the herd is that power has been stolen from them.
And you're, of course, the ones to rule.
But when only you carry in your blood centuries of honor and authority,
yep,
your power over the crowd will rain
that's the
down like a blessing.
No! Yo, she's not about to do this. In the office building?
I don't expect gratitude. But I do demand loyalty.
That's cold. The Venture have some fangs, ladies and gentlemen. That's... Jeez. In the office building. That's rough. Let's see some pre-alpha gameplay. It looks like... What's up with him? And... Oh! Dominate! Well, let's check out the official website. The Ventrue do not mess around, ladies and gentlemen. They have some fangs, if you will. So I have a predisposition to calling the Ventrue the Venture. I'm not entirely sure where that started, but regardless, the Ventrue are kind of like the venture capitalists of Kindred Society. They are always building up, they're stacking that cash, and we can kind of see it. She's looking out at the sprawling metropolis that she no doubt helped build. And I wonder what she's thinking. I do think that this was a message, if not to, you know, her staff or people that work under her, that she is not to be trifled with, that she praises loyalty above everything else. She did talk about that. And if you were unloyal, this could happen to you? Maybe. She definitely does have more fangs than I feel LaCroix in Vampire the Masquerade 1. We were a very special chess piece to LaCroix in Vampire the Masquerade 1. So when we kind of defied him, he would dominate us, the Ventrue's key discipline, and kind of flex on us just a little bit to make sure that we fell back in line. I'm incredibly intrigued to see a little bit more of Dominate. I'm pretty sure we saw it in the pre-alpha gameplay where a guy, it looked like he was ordered to attack someone else. Let's check out the Sword and Scepter, if you will. I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. So, the Ventrue. The blood of rulers has flown in the veins of the Ventrue since time immemorial, be they high priests, emperors, investment bankers, or chairman of the board. No surprise, then, that lineage and loyalty are held in high esteem. Even less that others might mistake them for pompous nepotists. The Clan of Kings sees the truth. They are the architects of vampire society, the guardians of the Masquerade. See, it's that type of attitude that makes me not really like the Ventrue. I'm not a huge fan of the clan. Maybe it was just like Prince LaCroix as my first experience to the clan known as the Ventrue. I'm just not a huge fan of them. I am a huge fan of Dominate. I think it's an amazing ability. But I've never really played much of this clan. Mesmerize. Okay. What's the other Dominate ability? Command. What other disciplines? They have Fortitude. So Fortitude, ladies and gentlemen, is my favorite discipline. So maybe I will make a Ventrue. Absorb, and we have personal armor as well. Doesn't sound too bad. Let's check out the clans page, read up a little bit more on them, and look into these disciplines a little bit more. Okay. So remember I was talking about the bonsai maybe being a message? Yeah, I'm thinking that it was in this gentleman's office building. Maybe it was a message to this Ventrue. This looks like the same scene that we saw in the first trailer for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. So is that Ventrue the one who's running things? Is he the head Ventrue? And I wonder if that gentleman that she set on fire in the trailer was dropping dimes to the head Ventrue trying to improve his status, but got caught. And yeah, that's what happens when you're disloyal to a Ventrue, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. Historically, Seattle has been the site of many industrial booms, and of course, the Ventrue have been there to capitalize on its fortunes. As more and more billion-dollar corporations shape the local and global landscape, enterprising Ventrue have entrenched themselves in the business of the 21st century, paving the way for a prosperous future for their clan. Yeah, for their clan! And making enemies of the residents who preferred the way things used to be. So the Toreador are definitely on the list. The Bruja as well. I think in the Bruja's trailer, she was taking on certain members of the Ventrue, or at least some of their lackeys, because we saw the limo, and the dudes were wearing suits. I know the Ventrue are slightly synonymous with suits, but I kind of feel like there's going to be a little bit of a war against the Ventrue. I'm intrigued to see just how that all plays out in story. Let's see here. I'm digging my man on the side with the suit. The Clan of Kings sees the truth. They are the architects of vampiric society, the guardians of the Masquerade in these modern nights. They are the only thing to stand between the kindred and extinction. Knowing this, how could they not stick together? To better weather the onslaught, to command the right to rule for everyone's betterment. Yes, everyone's betterment, including the Toreador, whose buildings, their favorite buildings by the way, you just demolished to make way for a strip mall. And to swiftly deal with anyone to fall short of these exacting standards. Anyone to fall short of those exacting standards. Yikes. So people from other clans, I'm also interested to see what it's like joining the Ventrue clan, because they have some high expectations, and if you do not meet those, are you going to be fitted with some cement shoes? I don't know, but whatever punishments that they have cannot be pleasant, as we've seen in this trailer. Let's check out the disciplines really quick. I love that. That just looks amazing. So we've got Dominate, Guardians of the Masquerade, and Princes of Uncounted Cities. It runs in the... Princes of Uncounted Cities. It runs in the Ventrue's blood to be obeyed. Their signature discipline allows them to dominate the actions and memories of others. Mesmerize. Blood cost 3. The primary dominate power allows the Ventrue to place one NPC in a brief hypnotic trance. The person so affected is oblivious to the world around them, ignoring sound, touch, and even pain. The second slot intensifies Mesmerize's effect. So that's what we saw, I think, in the pre-alpha gameplay. Let's look at the second ability, Command. Blood cost 0. The secondary dominate power significantly extends the Ventrue's control over the Mesmerize NPC. They can now be ordered to move, remove obstacles, or even attack others, which is what we saw. He attacked his friend, or I'm assuming cohort, with the lead pipe because the Ventrue ordered him to do so. The 4 and 5 slots upgrade Command. Using dominate powers is not a Masquerade violation, because if you're using them right, no one knows that you are actually using that discipline. So, yeah, it looks intriguing. I'm very happy to see Mesmerize and the Command. I'm surprised that it's blood cost 0. I mean, we had to spend like 3 out there in order to mesmerize somebody. I'm interested to see the dialogue options, and also what are we doing with the remove obstacles thing? Is that mesmerizing someone and then commanding them to, I don't know, open a door? A security guard, maybe? I mean, there's definitely some situations that I could see mesmerizing someone and then commanding them to attack someone, you know, to kind of cause a ruckus so the Ventrue can go ahead and do their thing, sneak into wherever they need to go. Maybe also command someone to open that door, like I said before, so they don't have to take the scenic route. Maybe there's a way to get in through the sewers or another way in, but The Ventrue does not want to jack up their $500 loafers. I can understand that. Fortitude. Few things, my favorite discipline, few things truly worry the vampire who masters fortitude, the discipline of physical resilience. After all, why fear the battle when you are certain to outlast your foe? Absorb, the first active, allows the vampire to take a brief defensive stance in which they may deflect all attacks they can see. Healing their wounds for every would-be strike, the second slot increases absorb's effects. Interesting. So the key word there is, or the key words are they can see. So what attacks will we not be able to see? I'm thinking Tremere stuff we wouldn't be able to see. But is there a certain, like, weapon that a human can use? Maybe some type of rifle that can hit us from long distance so we don't know to go into that defensive stance? I'm intrigued with that. But also, we're going to have our wounds heal for every would-be strike, so maybe we'll run into an opponent like a Bruja or something that has a flurry of attacks. Kind of dynamic combat, and then we could set up heal for every attack that they land and maybe get back into the fight. If they allow us to, I'm going to make a Ventrue who just is a straight-up brawler. That's what I want. Straight-up brawler. A former boxing champ who started up his own company after he retired. Something like that. We have personal armor next. The second active power hardens the vampire's skin into a stone-like barrier. Awesome. Blood cost 2. The fourth and fifth slots upgrade the power to the point where a true master becomes impervious to attacks, causing attackers to stagger back from the recoil of their own strikes. Great for, I'm assuming, bladed weapons and, like, let's say a sledgehammer, but I wonder how that'll work out with things that are not, like, heavy physical weapons, like, I don't know, a flamethrower? Something that Kindred are actually fairly weak against. Interesting. Also, allowing a mortal to witness your fortitude under attack is a Masquerade violation, because, you know, taking a sledgehammer to the chest and bouncing the guy who struck you off and then just, you know, shrugging it off, walking away, is definitely not a way to blend into human society. Now, let's go back for a second. Let's check out the game info. I wanted to look at something that the Toreador have really quick. Let's say Toreador. With good reason, 2 of Seattle's former princes were Toreador, which means that the current prince, or at least I'm assuming the current prince, is no longer a Toreador. So does that mean that the gentleman that we saw in the first trailer, the Ventrue, is the prince of the city? And because he's now the prince of the city, all of the cultural landmarks that the Toreador love are being torn down? That's an interesting situation. Who would not be happy with a Ventrue running things? Well, Bruja, obviously. Thin Bloods, I'm guessing they're kind of like The Tremere, I feel, are probably siding towards the Ventrue, and we also have the Toreador, who are definitely against them in this situation. We have 2 who I could only imagine are very opposed, and 2 who are alright with that, with the Thin Bloods being kind of like Now we have the last group. Tell me what you guys think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that the Prince of the City is actually a Ventrue? Now we have this area. It's a dilapidated building. Who the heck could possibly live here? In all honesty, I do believe it's the Nosferatu. So, for those of you who don't know anything about the Nosferatu or know much about them, their negative effect is their facial features. Well, really their bodies. The Embrace didn't, give them... Well, it did give them amazing powers, but it also gave them a pretty terrible curse. They are physically... Well, yeah, physically deformed. Their bodies do not look human anymore. So them showing up in a crowd is actually a Masquerade violation in and of itself. So they've taken to using the sewers as a means of easy transportation, so they don't have to use their key discipline, which actually pretty much turns them invisible, to move through groups of people. Because, you know, if someone doesn't have the power to, it could cause some issues. It's just better for them to kind of avoid large groups of people if they can. So that's who I'm thinking this is. Tell me in the comments who you think it is. Might be another clan, I'm not entirely sure, but you kind of need to build up that sewer system. A lot of people have been saying that in my comments. Build up that system to allow for the Nosferatu to come in. And the Nosferatu are a pretty big clan, a lot of people like them. Now, we'll do something a little bit different. Tell me what 2 clans you want as DLC in the comments down below as well. For me, I'm a huge fan of the Gangrel clan. We didn't get to see them yet, so I'm pretty sure that they're going to be DLC. I'm intrigued to see how they're handled. I want to see how Protheans worked out and Animalism. I am also a huge fan of the Giovanni. Maybe it's just I like the aesthetic, but I love that clan as well. Thank you all for watching. Please be excellent to each other, and good evening, Neonates.